Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back ladies and gentlemen on this sunny Sunday for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend, and today we've got nothing but good news to share with you. Things are looking amazing. They are looking beautiful across the board, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be sharing some of that with you in this video. We are of course going to be diving into Cardano. We are going to look at Bitcoin and the total money in crypto. We're also going to be looking at some future speculative news to come, and this is the approval of a Bitcoin ETF. This is an article that came out today. Future-based Bitcoin ETF has a 75% chance of approval in October. This has came from Bloomberg. This follows the news that we had covered a couple of days ago about Gary Gensler coming out and being very much in favor and showing support for a Bitcoin ETF. We're going to talk about this towards the end of the video and what this really means for the crypto space as a whole, not just Bitcoin, because what this would see is Bitcoin and then inevitably crypto gain a lot more institutional exposure, as they would have a vehicle to do that with. Where I want to start is by taking a look at the overall market, guys. We're currently at $2.13 trillion. Over the previous days, we've been covering many kind of bigger term bullish patterns that were at play. We've covered our falling wedges. We've covered what we believe that Bitcoin is in. Head and shoulders. We posted this up a few days ago saying that, look, this of course is Bitcoin flipped on its head. This is the normal Bitcoin chart. You've got your left shoulder, you've got your head and your right shoulder. This is it inverted, and you can really see it. It's very apparent, guys. I'll quickly invert the Bitcoin chart for you. We're going to skim past the kind of macro bullish patterns because I want to get into the short term, the smaller time frames, more immediate time frames with you, and show you that there's even bullish structure setting up there. And I do believe we're in for a very good week, guys. In fact, I think we're in for a fantastic end to the year. So stay with the channel. This is what we're looking at for Bitcoin on a macro scale, your head and shoulders. If the ETF did get approved this month, that would see you, in my opinion, get right up to your target around about 80k from this head and shoulders for Bitcoin. We're expecting that anyway. This would just be an amazing catalyst for it. We'll talk to you about why that is, though, a bit later on in the video. Also, you've got your macro cup and handle structure at play for Bitcoin. See if I've got any of those schematics up. We've got one right here. This also has an upside target that meets you around about that 80k. Things are looking good, guys. And isn't it remarkable? We mentioned it on our Twitter earlier. If you're not already following me on Twitter, guys, head over to @RealAllInCrypto. Just how similarly these two sell-offs had played out. And we will get into Cardano in just a second because it's present there as well, guys. This is really, you know, these sell-offs are pretty much identical, guys. Can you see this? This is just a shorter version of what happened previously. And we did say that to you right when we essentially sold off. We said this is just a pullback. It's going to occur on more of a smaller time frame. We're going to set up in a bit of a falling wedge structure, and we are going to see a break to the upside from that. This is essentially what we've been saying for a while now. Now, this is Cardano. This is us calling the breakout that we've just had, but we'll get into that in just a second. So these sell-offs are very similar. You have broken up on the more short-term time frame for Bitcoin. This looks like a bull flag to me. Also, you've got your cup and handle present again on a smaller term time frame. One reason people aren't 100% bullish yet is because we've not yet made a higher high in this trend. This was a downtrend with your higher lows and higher highs. Essentially, we have failed to make a lower low, sorry. So these are your lower highs and lower lows. We've actually failed to make a lower low, but we have made sort of a higher low, but we've also failed to make a higher high. So there's not really any kind of confirmation in the trend either way at the moment. It's coming. I do believe this is a bull flag and this is a cup and handle structure. So you could see a bit of a pullback here before you get that continuation. It also might line up very nicely with the EMA and where that's at. Isn't it similar? I mean, look at this structure here. You come down, you come up, you fizzle around it before you see that continuation. You come down, you come up, you fizzle around it before you see that continuation. This is what we're expecting. We tweeted about this earlier. It's so apparent that this is coming. I mean, how many more bullish structures do you need? We've given you the macro ones. We're now giving you some of the micro ones. This is also the total money in crypto. Cup and handle. Also, got a head and shoulders present. Very quickly, before I move on to Cardano, which is really what this video is about, but we have to look at the market as a whole. We can't just look at Cardano specifically, as it is very much a counterparty. It's very much a hostage from the overall crypto space and what it's doing, and it's going to react with it, if that makes sense. This was a tweet from Yuri, I believe his name is. He's talking about your Wyckoff accumulation, and he believes it's exceptionally present. I can certainly see that the schematics line up. We'll just move Bitcoin over here. I'll see if I can do this. So this is what he's calling for. This was, remember, your Wyckoff distribution that took place. This is all Wyckoff accumulation, and we're yet to see that climb out of it. Big things are coming this year, guys. We are still in a bull market, and we're still expecting continuation. We think Bitcoin's going to get well above and beyond 100K, potentially within this year. We think Cardano is going to get to your $7.50 to $10 price range, and now we're giving you some reasons why we believe this. So this is really what you had for Cardano. You had this falling wedge structure set out. We did say that this was the breakout here. Many people said we drew the falling wedge wrong as we didn't move it up here, but this was the original falling wedge that we had in place, and it's very, very common in much the same way you did it over here. I mean, these sell-offs, and we're going to get into some bullish, more immediate structure in just a second, are literally identical. The only thing you failed to do is make a new low, but you don't have to do that. It's really a good indication of the overall market that you've not quite done that. Can you see this, guys? I mean, that's spookily. Halloween's, you know, a while away from now, but that is spooky how similar these schematics are to one another. And you're doing it. So after can you see this recovery here? You've done the exact same thing. You've come down, you've come into this falling wedge structure, you've bounced around, you've broken it, you've come back to test this descending resistance as support, and now you're going to see the continuation, in my opinion. This is the same thing that you got over here. You've broken into this falling wedge, you've broken out of it, you've come back to test the old descending resistance now as support, and we're off. I mean, these things are exactly similar. You've also got a bit of a cup and handle forming here, ladies and gentlemen, that we think you're going to see continuation for. Things look great, things look amazing, and in regards to the trend, Cardano is very much the same. I'll quickly remark on this because many people are saying, well, we've not actually confirmed the trend yet. This is your lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and you've actually failed to put in a lower low. Can you see that? So in comparison, in adversary to that, you've also failed to put in a higher high. So the trend isn't confirmed yet, but what these falling wedge structures are trend reversal patterns. So this is what we're expecting, a reversal of the trend. We're expecting an uptrend to take place in much the same way you did here. It doesn't have to be straight away. You can climb your way out. Cardano has done this time and time again, ladies and gentlemen. This is at the end of our one wave going into our two wave. Can you see this? You break out of it, you come up, you come back, and then you start to continue your new trend. Does these falling wedge structures all the time. Here's a perfect example. There's loads of them. We're not basing what we're saying on nothing. There's method to the madness. Of course, this was the total money in crypto. You got your head and shoulders here. This, of course, is flipped upside down. You've also got your cup and handle. There's so much going on, guys. There really is. So head over to Twitter. You'll get some more timely updates on there. We did call this breakout and said, look, you're likely to come back and retest it. You're broken out of your descending resistance, likely to test it as support, which we've absolutely done. We got a lot of negative comments on this tweet. I think it was viewed by nearly 70,000 people, guys. And we got a lot of negativity on it. A lot of people saying that it wasn't going to play out like that, that we were going to go lower. Time is the best teacher, guys. And this is the news that I really want to share with you. A couple of videos ago, we had shared that Bitcoin, or Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, had essentially came out and he was very much in support of a Bitcoin ETF, an exchange traded fund. This is some of the news that, or one of the headlines that we've had today. This came out about 21 minutes ago. Future-based Bitcoin ETF has a 75% chance of approval in October. It came from one of the people at Bloomberg. It's a matter of time. They have to approve an ETF because what you're seeing, I think it was Kathy Wood from ARK Invest, she said she'd just go over to Canada and use their ETFs. And this is extremely good. If an ETF got approved for Bitcoin in the US, this would see huge institutional exposure. One reason that institutions don't get into Bitcoin is because there's risk attached to it. You can't insure it. You can't... there's a big security risk. If you were a big company and you were in charge of custodying hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin, if you lose your password or something like that, it's huge risk. That's just one reason why potentially they wouldn't want to do it. So an ETF would really allow them a safe way, a regulated way to get involved in Bitcoin without a lot of the risks. And this is what many institutions out there are waiting for. This is going to see the floodgates open, because I believe that institutions don't really want to hold cash which is negative yielding. Cash is depreciated via inflation year on year on year, and what they're going to do is try and hedge their bets against that with something like Bitcoin. It makes a lot of sense to me, and this is coming. They are going to have to approve an ETF. When? Is it going to be this month? We just don't know. This is speculative, but this certainly would see that head and shoulders pattern that we believe Bitcoin's in, the reversed head and shoulders pattern that we believe Bitcoin's in, you really take flight. So this is what we're expecting. Things are looking good. We went over the COT, the commitment of trader, by the Crypto Sniper, his indicator on Bitcoin. We'll quickly pull it up again, guys, and this has given us a huge buy signal. We did this yesterday. Let's see if we can pull it up. We've got that buy signal, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it doesn't work on the weekly because the data hasn't uploaded yet, but you've got your long here. This is a indicator that's been 100% right so far. Somebody tried to argue with me that it hasn't. Go and look at it for yourself. Type in the Hunt COT indicator on TradingView on your indicators and drop it into your charts, and you'll see. Every time it's called for a long, there's been a long. Every time it's called for a short, there's been a short. It's been 100% accurate so far. This isn't tomfoolery. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. So that's really all we have for you guys. Things are looking exceptionally good. We're unbelievably excited. We've got an announcement for the channel. We are going to be revealing something tomorrow for you. You guys can get involved with the channel in more of a big way, and we can also help to decentralize a network, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Things are looking good, ladies and gentlemen, and we are expecting continuation. I think right now you've got a bit of a bull pennant forming for Bitcoin. You're sort of in your cup and handle. We are going to see that higher high, and we are going to see that trend reversal and go on to set new highs. Get excited, ladies and gentlemen. I am. I hope you are too. I look forward to seeing you each in the next YouTube video. If you enjoyed the content, like, it's always appreciated. So is a comment. Share this round and get following me on Twitter @RealAllInCrypto. That's all I have for you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and I'll catch you in the next one.